hat off, son. It's a professional environment. The headphones. So, you gonna tell me now? You're gonna have to tell me sometime.
What do you want me to say?
Answer my questions.
What questions?
You know my questions. I'll ask you again. Why do you like reading books? And why do you want to teach them to everyone?
You just don't understand, do you? Well, if you want to know the truth... I was sitting on a deserted road trying to hitch a ride. I ran away from home, you see. My parents, they don't understand me. Much like you, they questioned me about my future. They were just so phony. I couldn't stand it anymore. So I just left. I got lucky. This guy picked me up.
Hey man, thanks for picking me up.
No problem, where are you going?
Anywhere but here.
Got it. So why are you running away?
How do you know I'm running away? Maybe I'm just taking a new journey.
You don't look much older than 14.
I'm 16.
Sorry. So, you say you're on a new journey?
Yep.
That reminds me of a story my grandfather once told me.
For generations, the vision quest has been an important part of Lenape life and ritual. Until recent times, all young men sought this experience, sometimes as young as 10 or 11, and never later than their early teens.
So what does that have to do with journeys?
Hold on, let me finish.
There were once 3 Lenape boys who were sent on a vision quest. A Manitou came to them and asked what they would like to be when they grew up.
I would like to be a hunter.
I would like to be a warrior.
I would like all the women in the trip to like me.
When they grew up, that came to pass.
The one boy was a fine hunter, the other was a good warrior. The third one, who wanted all the women to like him, was killed by a bunch of women at a gathering who ganged him and tore him to pieces because each one wanted him.
He should have only asked for one woman to like him. And that's the story my grandfather told me about a spiritual journey gone wrong.
That's a terrible story.
Maybe, but the morals are good.
What moral is that? Wish for something good like money, not women?
No, one is not to be greedy when you ask for something, and not ask to be more than you could be.
You see, this is where my love for literature began.
So I told you a story from my past. Let's hear one from yours.
I don't even know you.
I'm courteous enough to give you a ride. It's the least you can do.
Fine. I'll tell you the story that's been passed down from my great-great-great-great-great-grandfather. You see, he lived in Salem when the witch trials were going on. My dad told me about all these people getting accused and killed for nothing.
Did you hear about Goody Proctor? She was accused just last night.
I did hear of that. I'm not surprised with her. She's been acting really strange. She hasn't been to Sabbath day in church for a long while.
Really now?
No! Get up!
And I have casting spells, putting people under a hex, throwing children in wells. I've been a good person, just like he and she, going out to church, making sure my wife dresses appropriately. Giles Courage died for what he believes in, just like Jesus Christ, Paul, and Acts 7, Stephen. Just let me tend to my crops and make milk with 3 different flavors. I'm innocent man, don't make me hang in front of my neighbors.
You said my story was terrible.
Well, it was.
At least my story has a moral.
Mine has a moral too.
Oh, really? What was it?
Don't be stupid and do things that'll make you look like a witch? I don't know.
Exactly.
What's so special about Native Americans anyway? They don't have the technology that we have today. What's the point?
The point is not by how much you have. Native Americans are one with nature. We respect all living things, whether it be a deer, a squirrel, or a tree.
Okay, old man, you don't have to go all Pocahontas on me.
You can learn something from me. Do you know what transcendentalism is? Good God, what are they teaching you in school anyway?
I dropped out.
You're an idiot. Why'd you do that?
Everyone thinks they're such big shots. It's so phony. I hate it.
I've only known you for a short time, but you seem to hate everything.
I don't hate everything.
Sure. Anyways, I was saying, transcendentalism is taking a step away from this crazy world filled with all your young kids' technology and just seeing what nature has to offer.
Yeah, no, that's not cool. I'm tired of listening to this crap. It's not even music.
See, you don't think it's music because it's not in. You follow the crowd. The exact opposite of transcendentalism. And it's also like modern American poetry.
What? What are you babbling about?
It's like modern American poetry because people did not accept it because it was like wildly different. But it continues to inspire generations of writers.
Okay.
Yes, and look how far those revolutionary poets have come, such as Robert Frost and E.E. Cummings.
I hate sappy love songs. They're so phony.
Son, have you ever been in love?
Never, and I don't really plan on it.
And why is that?
I don't know. I just don't wanna.
Do you ever read books?
You know reading isn't acceptable.
Doesn't mean you can't be rebellious.
Whatever.
The Great Gatsby is a wonderful book about the struggle for love and having everything and still feeling empty. Do you feel empty?
No, I don't think so.
Gatsby was his name, bootlegging was his game. Daisy was her name, and Daisy was his dame. But Daisy was married to Tom, and loving her would be wrong. But he did it anyway. There's nothing anyone could say. Nope. Nick was his best friend and neighbor. He had a cousin named Jordan Baker. Gatsby had a mansion on West Egg, the side of fashion. East Egg wasn't that nice, but Nick was doing alright. There was a girl named Myrtle who was cheating on her husband with Tom. Her husband George was like a turtle and didn't know what was going on. Gatsby said to Tom, "Daisy's leaving you." Tom said, "I don't believe you." Daisy said, "I'm leaving you." And Tom got really sad. They drove into town and passed a big crowd, and they saw Myrtle lying on the ground. She had been hit by a car, and her husband was acting bizarre. He thought Gatsby killed her, but it was really Daisy. Gatsby took the blame though, because love was making him crazy. When George found Gatsby in the backyard, Gatsby was in the pool. Then George pulled the trigger back hard, and Gatsby died a loving fool. The moral of the story is love. It's a wonderful thing, but it's not. Love can really hurt you, it can even get you shot. Gatsby made a sacrifice for the woman he really loved, and now he's dead, looking down from above. Hey guys.
That's the story?
Well, that's not all of it.
That sounds boring.
Oh, but it's not. Fitzgerald uses colors to associate with people and their emotions. It's pretty genius.
Sounds pretty boring.
You don't get it. Gatsby builds his own fortune to be everything she needs.
Yeah, but he ends up dying for her. Sounds like the guy's kinda naive.
Maybe so, but that's love, isn't it? Dying for something you love. Fitzgerald writes characters that can be identified. Genius.
Whatever.
The truth is, I did feel empty. I didn't know how to feel or think about things.
I could probably tell you what I did after, how I got home, and why my parents put me in here, but I don't feel like it.
That's all I'm going to tell you about it.
So that's the reason. Because you met some Native American guy you like reading and literature all of a sudden?
Essentially, yes. Whether stories have been told by word of mouth or by books, they've lasted over the centuries. I applaud your effort in trying to keep our innocence, but books have taught us more than one person ever could.
That's not a valid reason.
Maybe not to you, but that moment with that man changed my life. Granted, maybe I didn't know what he was talking about at that time, but after I took some time to think about it, I started to understand his wisdom.
Thinking? You're not allowed to think.
You may want to be another mindless robot, but I'm not going to stand for it. Have you read the Scarlet Letter?
Of course not.
Just because I wear this letter on my chest doesn't mean I don't know what I'm talking about. You can classify me as insane, that's just the judgment you've pinned on me. You see, there is so much you can learn from books, but you'll just have to read them to find out.
I'm so